Hello and welcome, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Create Shifts with Bio Abandon. Today's topic for you is energy healing for teeth. So, according to natural medicine, energy medicine, every tooth is related to the health of a meridian, the health of an organ system or organs, the health of a endocrine gland, and the health of a certain joint in your body. So teeth represent being able to receive, being able to literally chew. I know that sounds obvious, but the receiving part, being able to break things down, break food down so that you can receive nutrients from food or receive from life, right? And also receiving, as some of you already know, receiving is behind every experience you have of life, receiving love, receiving respect, receiving who you are, receiving the abundance of life, receiving you. And it's kind of tricky sometimes to see if you actually have a problem receiving because you are probably focused outwardly in the things that are not working in your life and not realize that the problem may be deep down. You may have issues with receiving. So if you really do have issues with receiving, here's how things show up to mirror back to you what's going on. You will have relationships with a narcissist or what they call an energy vampire over and over and over again because they take. They're reflecting back to you your own ability to not be able to receive. You're the giver, but you're not receiving. So there's a lot of outward efforting, taking up a lot of your energy, but there's no receiving. And I don't want you to blame yourself for that because those patterns are probably created when we were young, when we had to be the ones to take care of a parent, or when we have to perform in order to be loved by a parent or by the caregivers around us, by the culture around us. And all those things happened in such a subtle way sometimes that we don't even know we have an issue with receiving. So the same goes for issues with money. If you're not able to receive, you will find a way to create drama around money so that you don't have to receive. Yeah, it's kind of bizarre how that works. And because every tooth indicates a different emotion that's out of balance or repressed, by looking at the health of your teeth, which tooth is having trouble, which teeth are creating problems, you can identify what area in your life is energetically out of balance, like you're the giver, or you are making lots of effort, but there's not enough support for who you are. That also shows up in the health of your gums and your jaw. So your gums, your jaw, if all that's having problems, I can almost say you're probably having problems receiving the support that you need to really create the life that's really fulfilling for you. We all need support to live our full potential, right? So if the network of support around you and all the energy is going outward instead of feeling fulfilled, that creates energetic imbalances. And sometimes where we see them, where the body allows us to see them or shows you, is with your tooth first, because teeth, while they are vital to your well-being, they are not as vital as, say, your heart, but they do affect your heart. So your body will find a subtle but safe way to get the message through to you first. So sometimes that's through your teeth, sometimes that's through your eyesight, because those get your attention without creating more problems for you. Like, it's not creating a heart attack for you or something more serious like that. But tooth problems can actually lead to heart problems. But we'll cover that part in a one-to-one sessions instead of in a general session. So for today's session, I'm gonna just work on the physical stuff first, and then I think that in more individual sessions, we can go into the particulars of your situation so that the healing work will really speak to you as an individual. That would allow us to really listen to what your body has to say on so many levels, and that allows us to also create the changes in our thinking and our self-perception and all that. So in individual sessions, I would go into reprogramming your subconscious mind to really be able to receive differently. But in today's session, though, I want to still get into the energy of receiving. So I'm gonna just focus energy, your stomach, small intestine, large intestine. Of course, receiving happens in so many levels. Your skin receives energy from the sun. You receive love and healing from people around you. So many ways of receiving, but I'm gonna just go right to the guts, right to your small intestines, where your body receives nutrients from food, so that the pH of your body is more supportive of healthy digestion and healthy food. So here we go. Excuse me. And when I work on the stomach area, especially to change the pH of the body, the pH of blood as well. So let me tune into the spleen as well. Spleen, stomach, your whole body, so that we can work on creating a different pH that's right for your body. All right, now that feels like there's a lot of changes. So energetically, when you're feeling this happening, you especially feel your stomach gurgling, maybe because all the acidic stuff is transformed to a less acidic pH. So your body may, so that gives off gas, and you may hear your stomach gurgling, and that's where it's coming from, an actual change in biochemistry. Okay. So with teeth, I'm going to start with the very back. If you still have your molar, your third molar, that is related to the heart meridian and heart and small intestine and triple burner and pericardium. It's all the fire elements. So, and it's also related to the health of the pineal gland. And I know that a lot of people may not have this teeth, especially if you had to have them taken out for braces or whatever. So let's tune into that. Yeah, there we go. And of course, the third molar really indicates issues in the family. Those back teeth issues in the family kind of just show up there. And issues that from your past also usually show up in the teeth that are in the back. So, and since we all have a past, we're going to spend a little bit of extra time on all the teeth in the back. In all four quadrants, upper left, upper right, lower right. Oh. All right, so now I'm going to move to first and second molar on all four quadrants, and that's related to the lung and the large intestine meridians and your pituitary gland. And any repressed emotions with regrets, sadness, grief, and issues that give you a lot of grief, obviously, right? So we're going to release all that. And again, the back teeth would have something to do with issues that you've been working on for quite a while. It's not recent stuff, it's prolonged issues of many years. So, challenging relationships, challenging finances, and maybe even challenging health issues of all kinds that create energetic imbalances in you. So again, in individual sessions, we will be able to explore that. But in a group healing session, I'm just going to stay general, but it still works for you, and your body will respond to it and know what to do with this. Wonderful, wonderful. So that's the molars. So now we're going to work on the premolars. That would be tooth number 2, 3, 14, 15, 28, 29, and also 2, 20, and 21, the premolars. And they are related to the health of your spleen and stomach meridian, as well as the health of your thyroid and parathyroid glands. And the emotion that would be out of it when you have problems with these meridians or these set of teeth, the predominant emotion that's out of balance is worry, overthinking, um, projecting into the future, and you would have these issues what about worry and concerns about the future if you're dealing with financial abundance, right? Because you can't be as carefree about the future when you feel like you haven't really properly provisioned for the future. So let's tap into the energy of having more than enough, that your future and you are all provided for. And I know, like, you're going to say that's easy for you to say, but I know it's a challenge, and we're going to tap into the energy in order to change it. So the energy you want to have to balance all that worry about the future is you want to feel at peace with the future and know that you are provided for here and now, and you are always provided for and cared for. So receding gum tissue around this area would also indicate the lack of support for creating the future that you like to have. So let's again tap into the energy of feeling supported and provided for on every level of your being. And see yourself surrounded by loving, kind people who support you, and your angels and guides are always there to support you. The divine guidance. Wonderful. And I know that gum tissue is an issue for some people, so I will work on gum tissue as a whole toward the end. So that's the premolars, and now we're going to work on the bicuspid, and that has to do with the liver and bladder meridian and your adrenals. Actually, your gonads and adrenals. So liver and gallbladder meridian. I have no idea why every Halloween you see these false teeth, and there's a set of teeth that represents the teeth of Dracula or whatever, and he has those fabulous bicuspids that are extra large. That's a lot of liver and gallbladder energy. And in Chinese medicine, well, in the Chinese language, when we say somebody has gall, we mean they have guts. So I think that in this culture, we say when someone is really brave, we say they have guts and grit, right? In the Chinese language, we say dai dam, they have a big gallbladder, because the gallbladder energy is the energy actually of anger. You need to know how to resource that anger to create boundaries for you. So it's not about repressing it or about chanting so much that you kind of get out of your body and not feel the anger. It's about resourcing it and putting it to good use so that you have the boundaries, the gallbladder. Yeah, so you got to allow yourself to create the boundaries that would allow you to literally like stake your claim in life. Put down the stakes, claim your time, your energy, so that you can claim your own dreams. So it's very important to resource your anger. And I probably shouldn't bring up this study, but someone did a study and it's published, and you can Google on monks in Thailand. So, for some reason, the monks in Thailand have a disproportionate population diagnosed with type 2 diabetes compared to the general population of men. I think the general population has like a rate of 4.7% of the males diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, whereas the monks have like a 10.8%, which is significant and twice as high as the general population. And this is just an interpretation and speculation. The interpretation from some people, they say that's what happens when you have to repress your anger. It just builds up within you, creating all kinds of issues with your body's biochemistry. When the body's biochemistry is not working, then it creates different health problems. So that's an interesting study about repressing emotions. And I want you to know that's just an interpretation of the data. There can be many other factors. It could be the diet, but they're supposedly on a healthier diet than most people. They're vegetarian. So who knows what else is going on? That's just the interpretation. But I think you understand that repressing any emotion is not a good thing. It's about finding a way to express it that feels right for you. And this includes the expression of anger, resourcing it in a way that allows you to stake your claim in life and create boundaries. So, where you may have those issues, let's release that. And I know it's not easy to create boundaries, because if it was easy, there wouldn't be problems. So this always indicates issues in relationships, because it's not like if when you're by yourself, you don't need to create any boundaries, right? So it's always about personal power and relationship dynamics. So let's tap into the energy of you feeling confident, feeling comfortable, and have your own awareness. No matter who you're around, no matter where you are, no matter how many people are around you, you always have your own awareness. So that allows you to stay neutral. Neutrality is power. In any relationship dynamic, you're able to maintain neutrality. And that is power, and that allows you to make a new choice without just reacting, or the fight or flight response, right? So there you go. So what would it feel like for you to have that sense of personal power, that spaciousness that allows you to stay neutral in any relationship dynamic? Have that. Wonderful. All right. So now we're gonna work on all the four front teeth, uh, upper jaw and lower jaw. And the four front teeth, your incisors, they indicate the health, of course, of your adrenals and kidney and bladder. So it's the water element meridians, kidney, bladder, adrenal. And when these meridians are out of balance, the emotion would be fear. And so let's tap into what would bring someone fear. We're going to release that because fear is not real. So when you're not in touch with who you really are, but the infinite being of you, there's fear created, right? And fear, again, is always of the future because the past, there's nothing to fear. The past is already done. And the kidney meridians being where they're at, they are almost always related to finances because it's second chakra or first chakra. Um, when you base this on embryology, then it's first chakra because embryological development or the tissues that are in the first chakra, the kidney was a part of that. But as we grow as adults, then it's second chakra. But it all is kind of the same thing, right? Tribal support to create the wealth and have your space in the world. Have your own space in the world. Thankfully, we don't need to belong anywhere now to create wealth. We can belong to ourselves and create wealth. So, what does that bring up for you when we say belong to yourself? Yeah, what if you don't need to belong to anyone or any idea or any culture or any tribe and totally belong to yourself now? Yeah, there you go. So let's just bring in that energy of just knowing that you have what it takes to create the life you want. So you're literally able to take a bite out of life, out of whatever it is that's a challenge for you. And this is also about, your dreams and your ideas having teeth. That is, they have traction, right? So you're not creating a fantasy and sending all your energy to a fantasy life, but to some very real targets and goals that have traction, have teeth, so that you can buy into it and create something out of it. So let's bring in that energy of goals and ideas that have real traction for you so that you feel totally capable of creating the future for you. And I love all the comments you are all giving me. So obviously, this healing on um, teeth will have to continue next week. So we will do more next week. But today, I just want to go through the general health of the meridians as well as the health of an endocrine gland that's related to it. We will go more in depth. Maybe next week there will be more, because now when you know what is possible to heal, what all the issues are, you can leave me more in-depth comments and let me know what it is that you like to work on. I know that a lot of you already put that in the comment section, so I will create another session for you next week to address the more in-depth issues like what the enamel with remineralizing the parts that have cavities and all that. But it's good to just get the general stuff going, to get the energy going, to get the healing energy going. So before we end this session, I'm just going to connect with the gum tissue and see what we can do to start regenerating gum tissue for all of you. And we will have to do that more in depth next week so that, yeah, for some of you, yeah. So I'm activating regenerative energy to help your body, help your gum tissue regenerate, allowing you to feel really supported in life, feeling supported emotionally, financially, spiritually, psycho-spiritually, to create the most amazing life for you. And again, that all comes back to your small intestine, stomach, being able to absorb the proper nutrients for you, for healing your teeth, your gums. Yeah. So just activating lots of regenerative energy. And again, the body would always use this energy first for vital organs. So if you don't feel a change right away, do not despair, because the body knows what organs and organ systems take priority in the healing of your body. But know that it's done, and it's done, and it's done. Yeah. So look for your email. I'll be sending out an email, and I'll be sending out a special coupon code so that for those of you who need to have more individual attention, I'd be so happy to work with you. So yeah, that was fun. And I was only planning a 20-minute session, but I think we did more than 20 minutes. So yeah, so let's just bless this with love and light. And namaste, everybody.